Right beside you, chapter 24. I had not planned to propose to Felicia in such a bizarre way. As a matter of fact, even after I purchased the ring, I still had no clue how I was going to ask her or even and where, when and where. If Grandma Lucy had not intervened, I probably wouldn't have done it tonight, but I was glad I did. After Grandma Lucy shuffled out of the room, rumbling underneath her breath and waving her arms, I slid the ring onto Felicia's finger again. She stifled a sob and stared at it for several moments. It's too beautiful for words. It's exactly what I would have picked out for myself, she managed. You did, I reminded. She leaned toward me and brushed her lips across my cheek. I pulled her into my arms and we kissed long and hard. It felt exactly the way I had imagined. That's more like it, I said with a sigh. I took Felicia's hand and led her to the couch. I flopped down first and guarded her into my lap. I'm still in a state of shock, she said in a shy tone. I had no idea you cared about me this way. Okay, I have to come clean. I paused and took a deep breath before I told her. Pam told me what you told her. Her jaw dropped and she covered her face with her hands. I took her hands in mine. I'm so embarrassed, she whimpered. I didn't know, I didn't mean. Knew I shouldn't have told her or anybody else how I felt about you. She let out an airy laugh. All those times you sat right beside me on the bus and came to my office to work on my computer, it was so hard for me to keep such a deep, dark secret from you. Why call it a deep, dark secret? Just a secret is all it was. Why didn't you save yourself some trouble and tell me? I rolled my eyes and gave Felicia a sharp look. Scratch that? I felt the same way and could have told you. When did you? Realized I loved you? I'm not exactly sure, but it was quite a while ago. She nodded. Same here. We remained silent for a few moments. When do you want to get married? She asked. Baby, whenever you want to, we'll do it. Have you told your girls or anybody else? I shook my head. I had to find out what you say first. I'll tell the girls when they come home tomorrow. I hope they'll be happy for you. You know how some kids feel about their parents remarrying, especially to a woman they barely know. Believe me, my girls know enough about you. You'll all get along just fine, Richard chuckled. Boy, I can't wait to tell my buddies Stephen and Sam and the rest of the crew at work. Wait, you can tell your girls and the rest of your family and friends, but I don't want to share this with the folks at work yet. Pam and everybody else can wait. All right, when are you going to tell Clyde? Soon, I hope. I don't want him to ask you out again after today. If he asks me out before I tell him, I'll just turn him down. You know he's only just a friend anyway. So was I. You know what I mean. Okay, you share the news when you feel the time is right. That's fine with me. Is there a reason you don't want to do it right away? She nodded. Years ago, I told my mother that when and if I ever accepted a marriage proposal, she'd be the first to know. I'm going to try and get in touch with her tomorrow and tell her. You don't want to tell her in person? I do, but I don't expect them back until after Christmas. I can't wait that long to let her know. Baby, you do whatever you have to do. I've waited this long. I can wait a few more weeks. Where are your parents today? Still in Tokyo. I think they're 13 hours ahead of us, so it be mid-morning Saturday there. Why don't you give her a call now? Well, I can try, but knowing them, they're probably out kicking up their heels. They spend very little time in their hotel rooms. Felicia was still in my lap when she leaned over and picked up a sheet of beige stationery off the end table. It's a copy of the itinerary. She picked up the landline from the same table and dialed. It took a couple of minutes for her international call to go through. She pressed the speaker feature on the phone so I could hear both ends of the conversation. Hello, Mama. There was a moment of hesitation on the end. Phil, is everything all right? A woman's husky voice finally asked. Felicia let out a sharp laugh. Everything is fine, Mama. I'm glad I caught you. Where's Daddy? Standing here hovering over me like a hawk in a shirt that looks more like a kimono. Boris, don't you leave this room until you take your pill. He's about to go and try to play tennis again with his clumsy self. Tell him to wait a few minutes. I have an important announcement to make. Uh-oh, Mrs. Hawkins said in a raspy tone. Do I need to take one of my nerves pills first? No, you don't, Felicia chuckled. Remember what I promised you that you'll be the first to know when I accepted a marriage proposal? Yeah, I'm still waiting. Well, the wait is over. I've accepted one. There was a loud gasp on the other end. Say what? I'm engaged, Felicia said loudly, proudly as she held up her hand and gazed at her ring. Lord have mercy. Boris, our baby girl is finally getting married. Mr. Hawkins responded in a very jolly tone. It sure took Clyde long enough to ask. Felicia immediately said, It's not Clyde. It's someone else. I'm sure I've mentioned his name before. But you and Daddy have never met him. We're co-workers and we've been friends for years. What's his name? Mrs. Hawkins asked. Richard Grimes, and he's really nice, Mama. You and Daddy will love him. Grandma Lucy already does. You told her? I thought you said I'd be the first to know when you got engaged. Mrs. Hawkins grumbled. I didn't exactly tell her. She figured it out on her own. But I didn't confirm anything. Technically, you're still the first to know because I didn't accept the proposal until Grandma Lucy left the room. I'll go tell her when I get off the phone. When are you going to get married? Daddy will have a hissy fit if he's not there to walk you down the aisle. I sure enough will, Mr. Hawkins confirmed. I hope you can wait until we get home, Mrs. Hawkins said. If you can't, we'll cut the trip short and come home as soon as you want us to. We had hoped to visit the Holy Land on Christmas Day, but we can go visit it some other time. Even though our travel agent went to so much trouble to get us such a nice hotel and a guide. Don't you dare change your plans. You and Daddy have wanted to visit the Holy Land for years. You're too close to it to back out now. Besides, Richard and I haven't even discussed a date yet, but I'm sure it won't be before you and Daddy get back home. Felicia looked at me with her eyebrows raised and I nodded in agreement. Felicia, this is the best news since your birth. That young man has no idea what a prize he's getting. You're going to make a wonderful wife and mother. Well, Mama, I learned for the best. I'll let you and Daddy go, and we'll talk again in a few days. Are you going to tell your brother, or do you want me to give him the news when I call him in a day or so? I'll call him tomorrow. Now you two go on and have some more fun. Just be careful. When Felicia hung up, I pulled her into my arms and kissed her again. When I released her, I reared back and stared into her eyes. What? What are you thinking? Why are you smiling like a cat that just swallowed a canary? She asked. I never thought Christmas would come so early this year, and that I get the gift I wanted most of all. And the same goes for me, she replied. Like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Bye-bye.